Welcome, welcome, one and all, in here, out all, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Hey, I got a quick question. It's kind of a personal question. Does anyone here enjoy having money? You might need to find a new hobby, because y'all know the Dow, the place where they keep they store all the Dow points, and every day they count all the Dowlings, and then that twitchy money line goes boop. Well, today it went boo. Down another 537 points. Yeah. It's been a bit of a run. It's so bad down on Wall Street, the bull just applied for a job at Chipotle. Yeah, he's hoping to get an internship as a taco. There are far more troubling indicators out there than the Dow. We are getting disturbing reports that sales are down to convenience stores for Doritos, Twinkies, Heath bars, and cigarettes. Then what the hell are people having for breakfast? Inflation is also hitting actual food. According to the Department of Agriculture, egg prices will remain elevated as Easter approaches. And I believe on Easter, they'll rise again. Crispy and Estes. Prices are already getting up there. In February, the average American paid a record $5.90 for a dozen grade A eggs, which it means it may be finally time to switch to grade B eggs. You know their slogan, do they all have to be from chickens? One thing driving prices up is Trump's wonder wheel of random tariffs. So far, he's hit most of our major trading partners, including the EU, who yesterday clapped back by announcing tariffs on American-made bourbon, jeans, and Harleys. That is going to make it so much harder for European men to have a midlife crisis. You can't outrun your mortality on a Vespa. Another joke? Can't remember the other joke? Something like that, another joke? So in response to their response, Trump responded irresponsibly by threatening to put a 200% tariff on French champagne. Yeah. Meaning from now on, we'll have to christen our ships with bottles of ketchup. Bon voyage. Anybody got a knife? Anybody got a knife? I'll use the mustard. It's not just champagne, because in his announcement, Trump said, the U.S. will shortly place a 200% tariff on all wine and alcoholic products coming out of the other EU-represented countries. This will be great for the wine and champagne business in the U.S. So get ready to toast the next New Year's with America's finest sparkling beverage, Champagne Code Red. Here's the weird thing. Caffeinated champagne, why not? Here's the weird thing, y'all. Even though Trump keeps kicking Europe right in the grapes, the EU is still our ally. And yesterday, Trump hosted one of their leaders, Micheál Martin, who is Ireland's prime minister, or as they call it over there, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Hachtua. I think that's it. I don't speak Irish. During a press conference, reporters pushed Trump on why he thinks EU countries like Ireland deserve punishing tariffs.
Is Ireland taking advantage of the U.S.?
Of course they are. I have great respect for Ireland and what they did, and they should have done just what they did.
Yes, they should have. They took advantage of us, and I have great respect for that. Game, see game. You should rip off any sucker dumb enough to trust you. By the way, I'm announcing a new limited edition Golden Trump brand Reacher Grabber. The only Reacher Grabber with the full text of the Constitution on the Reacher and the lyrics to YMCA on the grabber. All proceeds will go to charity or whatever that stripper's name was. The Ginger Cheyenne Bubbles. Trump did have some kind words for one particular Irishman who he could almost name.
Who's your favorite Irish person?
Oh, there's so many. Are you kidding me? Well, I do happen to like your fighter. He's got the best tattoos I've ever seen. I don't know if I'm a big, but that.
Conor McGregor.
Well, Connor's great, right?
He clearly could not think of a single Irish person. Oh God, oh yeah, there's so many. There's Shaquille O'Neal, big guy. Kathy Ireland, I love Kathy Ireland. Of course, the green M&M. It's not just the economy. Trump also, and I want to be fair, is ruining everything. For instance, his EPA, his Environmental Protection Agency, announced plans to repeal dozens of the nation's most significant environmental regulations, including more than 24 protections against air and water pollution. I mean, just even hearing that stresses me out. I need a drink, man. There you go. Oh my God, that's water. The EPA is also going to overturn limits on soot from smokestacks and restrictions on emissions of mercury. Mercury poisoning is back, baby. Pretty soon, your horoscope's gonna read, this month, Mercury is in retrograde and also in your brain. The changes also include getting rid of something called the good neighbor rule, which requires states to address their own pollution when it's carried by winds into neighboring states. Getting rid of the good neighbor rule is really gonna change those commercials.
Like a good neighbor. My lungs! Get out! I'm dying! You lied to me, Jake! State Farm is there!
We love Jake. We love Jake from State Farm. This new highway to a Mad Max hellscape was announced by EPA Administrator and Humpty Dumpty after Ozempic, Lee Zeldin. Zeldin claims that getting rid of these regulations is in the service of the agency's mission, which he said is to, quote, lower the cost of buying a car and running the business. No, it's not. The mission of the Environmental Protection Agency is to protect the environment, not to sell cheaper cars. That's the mission. Selling cheaper cars is the mission of Lee Zeldin's Used Auto Worlds. Stop in today to buy, sell, or lease. Trump is not destroying everything we love all on his own. He's getting a big assist from Tesla CEO and guest at the White Lotus undressing that corpse with his eyes, Elon Musk. That has led a lot of protests around the country at Tesla dealerships. Now, I want to be clear. I do not condone violence or vandalism of any kind. That is a deeply held belief of mine that comes from the bottom of my CBS legal department. With that in mind, I find it interesting that there's a growing trend of Cybertrucks being vandalized and used as skate ramps or covered in garbage.
That's interesting.
To be fair, that might not be vandalism. That might just be a simple mistake because they do look a lot like a dumpster. Tesla owners are facing backlash everywhere they go. Recently, somebody stole the wheels from every single Tesla in a Texas parking lot. Whoever did it, I do not condone this, but I do appreciate your tireless efforts. What's this? The Nobel Prize for Puns. Thank you so much. We got a great show for you tonight. Because I traveled to London to interview Gary Oldman.